Greetings and merry meet folks, Symbian here. I just want to make this video a little more clarification in regards to setting up to originally meet your spirit guides. It's not all that hard. It's a matter of a few things. First of all, knowing your cultural background, knowing your ancestry a little bit, knowing your own personal issues, be they mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, the things that you find issues with throughout the day. Patterns you may recognize that keep on cropping up. If you are a procrastinator, or if you find that you get angry a lot, if you have anger management issues, or if you have self-doubt, any issues that may crop up in that, it's important to know. First of all, knowing your ancestry. Spirit guides are multicultural. They come from all walks of life. They lived specific lives. Some have not. Some are strictly energy beings, as I mentioned in my previous video. But the ones that are materialistic, or were materialistic, you may find that if, let's say, you've got a Celtic background, or Asian or Egyptian background, you may find that the guides that feel themselves attracted to you are ones that are along the similar cultural mindset, especially in regards to knowing yourself. The guides that will also be attracted to you may have already experienced the self-same issues and things that you have, but they have found ways to either resolve them or circumvent them. Excuse me, my apologies. Now, knowing your own mental landscapes, one of the things that I found that helped me right from the get-go, right from the start, was my ability to visioneer and my ability to paint a lucid picture in my mind. It helps. When you, in a mundane plane of existence, want to try and connect with spirit guides who are just past the veil, creating a, how should I put it, a mental construct that you both can meet at, where that construct is higher in vibration than what your normal mundane life is, and high enough so that they can drop down and meet with you without them expending too much energy to drop down. Now, it's important to raise your landscape as high a vibration as possible, because spirit guides are not the strongest beings in the universe. It takes an awful lot for them to manifest in the first place. It's a lot of expent energy. The same with when you're reaching across the veil to make a connection with them. That expends energy on your part too. So the best of both ends would be for you to make an effort, and they will make an effort. Now, spirit guides will not give you negative information. That, from my experience, has always been a given. If you do happen to get negatively based information, or destructive or debilitating criticisms and that, I would make the suggestion that those are coming from your shadow self rather than beings that you are connecting with reaching across the veil. And that's very easy to do. Getting self-connected shadow replies is one of the things that learning how to meditate will help to resolve. Putting yourself in a space where you are reachable by beings of a higher vibration. But negative vibrations, such as what you might receive from the shadow self, don't really get through all that well. That's one way to circumvent the shadow interfering with your spiritual connection. All right, so you have to know your ancestry. You have to know yourself. And you have to be able to create on a mental landscape a visioneered place where you both can meet, where your spirit guide and you can connect. Now, I make it sound simple, and I know it's not simple. It takes effort on your part, and it takes effort on the point of the perspective of the spirit guide. But if you have issues and questions that you want resolved, the guides that will find themselves attracted to you will probably, as I said, already have had these issues and resolved them, or can give you hints and guidance along the way as to how to help you resolve yours. Their purpose here is to help your spiritual evolution. That's it, bottom line. And they don't give negative corrections. Their corrections and their methods are always positive, always. Their point of helping you is, as I said, your spiritual evolution, making you better than you are currently, helping you to resolve maybe past patterns and histories that keep you in a negative space or keep you in a sort of a stalemate. Once you open to them, they will begin to help as much as they can whenever the need arises. You'll get a little touch on your shoulder, or you'll get a flash of some pictures, meaning for you to sit yourself down, maybe even in meditative space, and open to meeting your guides. Now, meeting your guides for the first time, guide or guides, there can be no preconceived ideas. There cannot be any expectations. You cannot qualify, judge, ask for, how do I put it? You don't ask for their driver's license when they do manifest for you. Save all of the questions for a later time. When you're on your own, after the connection has been finished and you've gotten information that you now need to process. Enjoy the connection and the information that's shared as is. It's something sacred. It's something that both of you had to work on in order to manifest the connection I'm talking about. And what they will share with you, don't mind my cat, what they will share with you is things for your benefit. Now, I attracted a guide right from inception, as I mentioned in my earlier video, an Asian of Egyptian descent. Her name is Leonara. And funny enough, I had questions about the Asian spirituality and about Egyptian spirituality in mind when she stepped up to the forefront and introduced herself to me in this lifetime, reminding me that, yeah, she's been with me since inception, but she's unassuming. She won't follow me around like a lost puppy. She comes when she detects a need for her presence, as most guides do. Or if you purposely sit down, close your eyes, and open yourself up to receiving connections with your spirit guides, and unconditionally accepting what they tell you at the time they're telling it to you. Remember I said, You don't question what you're receiving. Now, it's a good idea to have questions in mind when you meet your spirit guidance. And one of the things that I try and get in the first few sessions, I try and get the guide's name, just to make the connection a little bit more personal. Sometimes a guide doesn't want to reveal their name right away, and don't press them on it. They have the reasons, and let's just say they've been here for a lot longer than you have. So they will share their name when they're ready to, when you are ready to receive it. And it doesn't make any sense to get all frustrated in that. So, now, as I said, it's a sacred connection. And it's something that I cherish because it confirms for me that I'm receiving guidance and help from something other than my own mind. Now, in my earlier video, I mentioned that I have a council of 12, 6 native grandmothers and 6 native grandfathers. I have 2 extraterrestrial guides, and my homie guide that's been with me pretty much since I was given a physical body, Leonara. Anyway, over our existence, the years of our existence, we will accumulate different guides. Some will stick with us permanently, others will help us, and when the need for helping us has been satisfied, they'll move on. One of the things, the questions that you can ask is that, are you a guide that is with me for the long haul? Or are you helping me with a current issue or problem I'm having? It's alright to ask them that. Just don't question the answer you get when you get it. And they are not fortune tellers. You can't ask your guide what looks good in the 3rd race of the 1st tract, or I'm seeing an awful lot of potential for flash money man. You can't ask them questions about winning money or lotteries or any fortune telling stuff. That's not what they're here for. They're here to help you on a spiritual evolutionary basis, to help you to become something more than you were before the 2 of you became introduced. Now, your culture is important to know. Your ancestry is important to know. Just as in a guide has their own ancestry, and like a Celtic guide and their particular host who is in the mundane world might also be Celtic. Now, my matron and patron are Celtic, and dark Celtic. They are heavy hitters as far as deity is concerned, but that's for another video. Now, I found it funny that my deity is Celtic, but my spirit guides are Asian of Egyptian descent and extraterrestrial and Native Indian. Over time you find out things about that. However, it's just a matter of knowing yourself, knowing your ancestry, knowing your issues, what your health issues are. Sorry. Whether you've got mental things going on, physical things going on, where you find that you might be having issues with anger management or being indecisive, you can't decide on anything. Anything in the world can be one of the reasons why your guides find themselves attracted to you. Now, they see similar issues that they experience that you are experiencing. So obviously they're going to try and connect with you to help. The bottom line is, you both have to work for it in order to make the connection. You have to raise your vibrations up high enough so they don't have to reach down so far. And trust me, spirit guides are not the strongest beings in the universe. They only have a certain amount of energy that they can expend to lower themselves close enough so that they can actually connect with you. So same thing with you. You only have a certain set amount of energy you can expend to raise your vibrations up high enough so that it's not so much of a leap for either of you to make the connection. And opening yourself up to receive connections without question, in a unconditional way, where nothing is qualified. You don't ask for ID. It's all right to ask for a name, and later on when the connection is done, you can research that name or the culture and the name and find out more if there is more to find out. Otherwise, allow the guide their timing, because the time clock that they go by and the time clock that you go by in the material world are so staggered and so far apart, and so out of frequency, out of phase, that they use, if you want to give it a label, they use different physics to connect with you using your mundane physics, if you know what I mean. It's an expenditure of energy on both your parts. So enjoy the connection for what it is. Try not to question, because the moment you question their identity or whether their information is correct or not, or you don't seem to believe them, the connection will break. And you can try as hard as you want for the rest of the day, and you probably are not going to reconnect with the guides until a later time, when you have the energy built back up and they have the energy built back up. It's not an instant thing. You have to develop a rapport with your guides. So, my name is Symbian. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, share the video, leave comments below. You know, I appreciate all comments that are positively oriented, please. Constructive criticisms rather than destructive criticisms. And please don't argue amongst yourselves if a fellow commenter happens to disagree with what you say, or you happen to disagree with what they say. If their comment is that blatantly negative, I'll delete them, and then I will answer their questions for them. I will probably contact them directly and let them know why they've been deleted off of my channel. So, don't fight amongst yourselves, please. This is a growing community, and one that I hope to have many friends in, and I hope that all of you become friends with each other and get to know each other as much as you're getting to know me. So, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.